All right, moving forward, here looking at our optimal aging category. So at Noon, we are firm believers in corneotherapy. All right, so corneotherapy, the concept is that your skin cells on the surface of your skin still have a little bit of life to them. There's a lot of companies out there that, and it's a very interesting thing in the world of skincare. It's kind of split down the middle. It's like some people are like, no, the skin cells are dead, get them off, scrub them off, get them off any way possible. And then there's other people like us where we're like, yeah, they're mostly dead, but there's still a little bit of life to them. So let's be nice to them as we kick them out the door, right? That's kind of what corneotherapy is about. So here we're going to be looking at a couple of hydrating options that really fall in step with that medical concept. So the first one is our SOS, otherwise known as Smart Occlusive System. Let's think about that word right there, occlusive. What does that mean? Trapping things in, we're occluding, right? So our SOS is going to be an occlusive lipid barrier repair cream. So this is going to be great for like post-laser, post-microneedling, post-RF microneedling, or think of your patients that have any sort of inflammatory skin disorder, eczema, psoriasis, forms of dermatitis, right? Where that skin is chapped, plaqued, red, and angry. This is going to lay down some occlusive lipids to help repair that barrier function. What we then fortified those occlusive lipids with is this physiological lipid ensemble. So what we did was we took a cross-section of the most healthy, perfect skin, and we looked at what made up that perfect skin. And we saw that it was 2% ceramides, 6% cholesterols, and 2% fatty acids at a ratio of 3:1:1:1. We mimicked that and we put it in the SOS. So we have those occlusive lipids in there to kind of occlude the skin so that while it's trying to repair itself, it kind of has a little fake layer of skin on there. And then we fortified it with those physiological lipids so that it's like, here's everything you need to get back to normal. So it's a beautiful product, you know, post-procedural, post-treatment, or again for dry, chapped, angry skin. And Moshe, do you want to share this story? Because this is a personal picture for you.
Yes, this is my grandson. So,
Tiny paws, tiny little baby paws.
I don't know if you see it from distance, but he had a very bad eczema all over the hand. And there were a few doctors involved, including naturopathic doctors with allergy and special food and whatnot, because we couldn't solve it. And the SOS, it was a miracle.
And lactic 10.
Really?
Lacto 10
Yeah, we
And
added a
lactic,
little
yes.
Lacto-10 to it to help exfoliate a little bit, but the SOS works really well on its own. But if they can, bring in the Lacto-10, it just ups the ante.
And it's gone. They try to explain us that this is something genetic and the barrier of the skin is somehow behind and it didn't develop well and all those things. And look at that.
Yeah, and very commonly what doctors will prescribe is steroids. And steroids are not ideal for long-term use. They thin the skin and they can also cause rebounding. So typically when you go off the steroid, the things come back. And so you wind up in this kind of dog chasing its tail cycle. And what's so nice is that with our products, they're non-steroidal based, so they're safe for long-term use. And they're safe for little grandson here.
Would that help psoriasis too?
Yeah.
That's what my
Yeah,
question.
psoriasis, eczema. Again, think of any sort of inflammatory skin disorder, go for it. The only inflammatory skin disorder I would recommend it for is perioral dermatitis. Perioral dermatitis doesn't like heavy creams. SOS would be way too heavy for that. But other forms of dermatitis, yes, like irritant contact, all of that, for sure, yes.
On such a young person, how did he find, he or she?
He.
Okay, how did he
This is
find
Ben's.
it on his skin? Because the skin's compromised, so did he find it a little irritating or
No.
very soothing and relaxing?
He didn't care about it.
Remember the
Just put what you want, just leave me alone, I want to do it. That's it.
He's like, I have trucks to play with. sir.
Exactly.
No, but remember that lacto-10 is gonna have the derm shield in it.
Right.
So that's why they're not gonna feel that irritation. It's gonna feel very comfortable.
Didn't complain, nothing, just leave me alone and that's it.
Perfect.
And by the way, Hannah, we also recommend it now for the freeze pen. I spoke with Margaret and Kathy about it. The freeze pen, we used to recommend Aqua 4 so far, but this one, we found it's 10 times better.
Yeah, anytime, just think of it this way, anytime that you would be recommending Aquaphor to your patient, you now recommend SOS. It's perfect. It's a wonderful alternative for that. All right, so thank you for sharing, Moshe. And letting us use your grandson's picture. Then we have OMG. OMG is my baby. I love this moisturizer. This is, I have it on right now. I tend to be a little bit drier because my whole life I live in airplanes, airports, and hotels. At this point, my name should be American Airlines Marriott. That should be my full name. But you know, I'm constantly in this recycled air. I try to drink as much water as possible. But you know, when you're changing altitudes and you're in all different climates, it just doesn't work out that way. So for me, I'm always kind of in this drier state. So I love OMG because basically OMG is just like the SOS, we just took the occlusive lipids out of it. So it's gonna have that same beautiful physiological lipid ensemble, the cholesterols, the ceramides, and the fatty acids, but then we said, let's make it even better. Let's add some killer antioxidant support to it. So here, you're gonna see that ingredient again, moist fullerene. Here, we're using a different derivative of, because remember in Restart, we use fullerene radical sponge. Here, we're using moist fullerene. This particular derivative of fullerene has a hydrating ability to it while still being an antioxidant. So we threw that in here, and then we also added ferulic acid and turmeric extract in there for the curcumin componentry. So again, beautiful antioxidants and hydration for the skin. So this is kind of my daily, everyday driver, which I love so much. And what's nice is the packaging, when you come up and play with it at lunchtime, they twist open and they pump out. So even though they're a heavier cream, you're not sticking your finger in there.